Well, what a pleasant good evening from across the globe, and welcome to another edition of the Closing Argument. We are live on KMTV. We're also live on Hot FM 107.9 in Monrovia, and we are live in Bomi County, Todmebere on Puma FM 106.3. Today happens to be a very joyous day for Muslims across the globe, and with Liberia being no exception. So we have Muslims, brother, today, brothers and sisters across the country, ending the holy month of Ramadan. So what a pleasant good evening. Chairman Ben Sanvee will join us very shortly. So as we bring him in to continue with the show. Chairman, good evening and welcome to the closing argument.
Thank you. Thank you. It's good to see you. And it's good to see everyone who's going to be joining us today. Um, how are you? Happy Eid to our Muslim brothers and sisters. I think today is the last day of Ramadan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Want to congratulations and may Allah accept the prayers, all of the prayers. We hope that our country will be a better country as a result of the prayers and mankind as a whole. So we want to send our Eid greetings to all of our Muslim brothers and sisters out there, and we thank Allah for blessing them and seeing them through the Ramadan. Yes,
yeah,
but
but
how are you? Sorry.
on the on the other end, on a very sad note, the media landscape is bereaved. Just hearing the news of one of our colleagues who work at ELBC in person of Nawe Gumen. He once worked at Pram FM and later the Voice of Liberia. And then he won the Rising Star Award last year at the state run ELBC. And so we are shocked by the passing of Nawe Gumen. So the media landscape in Liberia is bereaved, actually.
Oh wow. Okay, I don't know him, but name sounds very familiar. So we send our condolences to his family, to the bereaved family. It's a difficult thing when you lose a loved one. So we send our condolences to the bereaved family, and we hope that God will strengthen them through their period of bereavement, and may his soul rest in peace. What happened to him? Was he sick? Was there any?
Yeah,
What happened?
he was actually sick.
Hmm.
He's been sick for uh, the past 3 weeks. So he was admitted at the ELW hospital. But later,
Okay.
yeah, he was discharged. Then he had to go home. But
Hmm.
while home, we just received the sudden news of a demise. And so we extend
Wow.
our deepest sympathy to the bereaved family.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
actually heartbroken for a promising young
Hmm.
Liberian journalist. He was actually assigned at the executive mansion covering the mansion for ELBC.
Oh wow. Wow. Well, again, like we said, we're very very sorry to hear that. And we want to ask God to continue to guide his family. People are saying the volume is kind of low, so if you guys, I don't know, maybe you need to turn it up from your end. The studio, maybe you need to turn it up from your end. But people are saying that the volume is a little low, so just I was reading the comments. That's why I thought to ask. I think the rest of the guys will be joining us very soon. I know Jackie may be. I understand she may be running a little late, so we want to hang around a little bit and wait and see what is going to happen. There's a lot happening. There's a lot happening, guys. Please share the show. Share the show and get the information out there. Go to KMTV page and like it. I ain't say y'all please share it in the background with all of our folks in all of the respective groups. Let them know that we are on. We're going to be having another conversation today. Today is going to be, there's a lot of excitement around. I think the Vice President Joe Bucker has made an announcement that on the 28th of April, he will be naming his running mate.
Yes, for
And
sure.
there's a lot of excitement within the Unity Party's world. But then there's also a lot of anxiety, right? There's a lot of people who have their respective feelings in place. There are people who feel that their guy or their girl will get named. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on. Hopefully, we will have some some guest panelists. I think we're gonna see if we can get Mariah to join us. We want to talk about, one of the things that I want to talk about is this whole process and how this whole process played out. You know, how it's playing out because it hasn't ended yet. What does this say about the leadership ability of these candidates? How they've managed their respective VP slots. I mean VP picks. What's the process like? How are they? What is it? What is it? Just what's going into these decisions. What's going into these decisions, how they're planning it, the fact that because there's a lot of confusion. Don't get it wrong, there's a
Certainly.
lot of confusion. Everybody feels their side will get picked. When you talk to the Coon people, they're very confident, and specifically dealing with Vice President Joe Buckeye. What kind of leader is he? How has he been able to manage this whole process? I want to dig a little deeper into that today, and then also Mr. Cummings. Why has Mr. Cummings? It's almost like we haven't heard anything from Mr. Cummings. To be quite honest with you, nothing, nothing. There's been no leaks. Nobody know who he's picking. Nobody know who he's vetting. There's just been a total, it's almost like there's been a total blockade on Cummings's process, right? You don't know who he's vetting. There's just been a lot of guessing going around when it comes to the issue of Mr. Cummings and his pick for vice president. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Unlike the Unity Party side, where there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of guessing going on. Everybody feel like they are, everybody feel like are that they are going to get picked. So I am interested in knowing, and I want to ask, my fellow panelists, what are their thought process in this? Because I said, whether we like it or not, picking a vice president is most important, the first most important decision a presidential candidate will make.
Certainly.
The first most important decision of potential president. If you become a president, that's going to be one of your first, a potential decision that you will be making. It will be who you pick to be your vice president. So, what does this process say about these people, about these leaders? What kind of presidents they will be? There is also the question about who how long is it gonna does this give us a sense of how long it's gonna take for them to name the government, for them to name the cabinet? All of these things we're gonna try to unravel today. And then obviously we will talk about the potential picks. We'll talk about the Jeremiah Cohn, the Henry Costa, the Yomdi Kanga Lawrence. There are new names that have been injected in there. Today I heard about Sarah Beslo Yanti. There's different names that have been injected. So I am interested in knowing what what's the mindset of these people. Again, we're waiting for our fellow panelists to join us to begin the conversation. But that's what I am. That's what As I sat today thinking about all of this, that was what I thought about. I was trying to figure out I was trying to figure out what's going into the mindset of these leaders. How are they coming up with these decisions? What are your thoughts on it, though? Do you have anything to chime in on it?
Yeah. So before making my thought on that issue, the Ramadan issue has taken away from the BVR process that started today. And so
Mm-hmm.
there's been a lot of issues across the nine counties with regard to the process leading to the BVR registration. And so NIMBA has been on the list along with Bond County. They have raised issue specifically from the rural end of the county. Uh, there are issues the citizens in that part of the county are actually raising with regard to the slow process, the change of weather in that area, and the solar panel that is being used on the machine is not actually working in line with the entire system because it depends on the sun to power
Mm-hmm.
them. So, and just a days ago or few days ago,
Mm-hmm.
the NEC received 50 pieces of 5 kVA generator from the UNDP, which was given them to help in the area of uh, electricity generation. And so we are concerned as to what exactly is the NEC doing with those machines that were given them, since in fact the issue of the solar panel will be a challenge in the rural area. So we are concerned about that. And
Mm-hmm.
so up to 1 o'clock this afternoon,